As an estate planning lawyer, I often get this question: how do I leave my home to a family member, and how do I do it easily so that it's not a hassle and so that it doesn't go through probate if probate's not otherwise a good idea? So there are a few ways to do it. So let's start at the beginning. A lot of people say, well, I want to give my home to my daughter, for example, and I'm alive now, so why don't I just give it to her now? I could just do a quick claim deed, and now my daughter owns the home and she doesn't have to do any work once I'm gone. True, that is a way to make sure your home goes to your daughter. A couple of problems: you're doing it prematurely. You still need to live in that home. Well, what if you say, well, no, I'm not living in the home, I'm moving to a long-term care facility? Well, if you give away your home, and if you need any kind of state assistance like Medicaid, you have just made a huge disqualifying gift to your daughter, and she's going to need to give it back so that you will be able to qualify for Medicaid benefits. There are other reasons. What if you give your home to your daughter and creditors come after her, or a divorcing spouse? You might get kicked out of your home because your daughter has lost it for you unintentionally, but your home now is subject to a huge risk. Other reasons not to do this lifetime gifting to your daughter to avoid, probate or after death administration is, what about capital gains tax? So homes are big assets and they have appreciated in value quite a lot in some areas. So if you give your home to your daughter right now during your lifetime and you still live in your home, she gets your home at what's called a carryover basis level. And what that means is that if she goes to sell it after your death even, she might have to pay very substantial capital gains. For example, you bought your home for $100,000 and it's worth $500,000 now. So if your daughter sold it after you're gone, she got the carryover basis of $100,000. When she sold it for $500,000. That is a $400,000 capital gain on which she will need to pay tax of at least $60,000, maybe $80,000. All because you tried to do things easily without a hassle. Well, you ended up the result is a lot more tax is going to be paid than would need to be paid if you worked with an estate planning lawyer and got some good guidance. So giving away your home during your lifetime generally is a really bad idea. Okay, it's a bad idea. You want to give away your home to your daughter after you're gone. What's a better way to handle it? Another way to handle it is you do a transfer on death deed. So if you do a transfer on death deed, you do that deed while you are alive, obviously, and when you are gone after your death, your daughter just needs to file a tax statement with the county, and that house is hers. That's it. That's how easy it is. And remember that capital gains tax issue we talked about? Well, because she inherited the house after your death, she doesn't get that carryover basis. She gets an adjusted or a step up in tax basis. So if the house is worth $500,000 when you die, and let's say she decided to sell it for $500,000, she pays 0 capital gains tax. Much better result. So by talking with an attorney, you can save tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. So that is one way to transfer your home when you're gone with pretty easy, pretty hassle-free. Another way to do this is to have a revocable living trust. Now, a revocable living trust is an estate planning tool. In order for your house to transfer after your death, you will need to have set up a revocable living trust, transferred your house into the revocable living trust, and if all that is done correctly on your death, your daughter will get the house as a successor trustee of your trust. So that is another way to accomplish the same result. There is a lot more upkeep with revocable living trusts. When it comes to the transfer on death or the revocable living trust, what's best for you? Please see an estate planning lawyer so that they can guide you to the best result.